Peace and greetings, YouTubers. Y'all, I'm so tired after watching that award show. Like, it was so long. I was like, how much long is this thing gonna be? Jesus, I'm telling you, I love my people, but the BET Awards are like the holy convocation of award shows, okay? Because you're gonna be in there all day. Alright, Kojic convocation. If you ever grew up in church, you had to be Kojic, unfortunately. That's what I'm talking about, convocation, because you'd be in that service for 9 days. But anyway, overall, I thought the award show was okay. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too great. I think it was a little bit better than some of the previous years. I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than last year. Honestly, the only reason I watched is because they said Janet would be there, and I made sure that I sat through the whole thing because I knew that they were gonna put Janet at the very end, so I was gonna have to sit through everybody. But overall, I enjoyed the show. My favorite BET award ceremonies are still the ones from 2003 to 2005. But moving on, Kendrick Lamar opened the show. Great performance. I really liked the All Right song. His album is pretty dope too. I still like the previous album a little bit more than this one, but I enjoy Kendrick's work. I enjoy that his music has a lot of substance, and I enjoy that he is true to himself. He could have went real commercial with this project, but he chose to stay in his lane, and I appreciate that. I figured that award he won would go between either him or J. Cole, so pretty dope. J. Cole's album's really good too if you haven't bought it yet. Anthony Anderson and Tracy Ellis Ross, or Tracy Ellis Ross, I always get the middle name wrong, but they hosted. They did okay. I think it's hard to host an award show, especially one like the BET Awards, because it's always 12 days long and you run out of material, and after a while you got to deal with the glitches, and there's just a lot going on at the BET Awards, so it's hard to host a show like that. It's not as, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to talk about my people. Moving on. Janelle Monáe and, I can't ever get this guy's name right. It's Jindena, the Classic Man guy, alright? The Classic Man. We like the Classic Man. They performed. It's an okay performance. I like Janelle Monáe a lot. I don't really like the Yoga song. Like, if you bought the Electric Lady album, it was a really good album. This Yoga song, I feel like she's trying to do what she needs to do to stay commercially relevant. But I feel like she's kind of selling out a tiny bit, so it's not as great as it could be. But I do like Janelle Monáe. Like, Electric Lady, that was my album. So was the previous album and all the previous EPs that came before. So I just hope that she doesn't go too far off into trying to get a radio hit, but her part was cool. Classic Man, listen, that was my song all of the spring. Alright, it's finally catching on with people, and I like the song. Even the old boy do be looking like he came off the set of East Bayou, or freaking, what's it, Big Red from 5 Heartbeats? My office hours off of 9 to 5. Like, that's, every time I see him, that's what I think about. But their joint performance was pretty cool for what it was. Yeah, I do like Classic Man song. I'm anxious to see what else he's going to come out with. And I'm anxious to hear what his album's going to sound like. Same for Janelle Monáe's. Nicki Minaj won for like the 18th year in a row for the Hip Hop Female Award, whatever it is. They should just name it the Nicki Minaj category, because clearly ain't nobody else ever going to win that category. They just give it to her. Don't matter if she got music out or not. Nicki Minaj. But, yeah, so I guess kudos to her. That's kind of what happens when there's not that many people in that lane that she's in as far as being a female rapper. There's like 3 of y'all out that are commercially relevant, I guess. Chris Brown and Tyga performed, which was okay. I'm not really big on Tyga, so I was like, okay, alright, cool, this is awesome, yeah, Tyga. At this point, I was distracted because I was just waiting for the Janet part to come out. But they performed, and then, of course, Omarion comes out, and they did that song that everybody likes. The only thing that got me, though, here's my issue with Chris and Omarion. Like, I had the same issue with the video. Omarion is one very, very talented dancer. So is Chris Brown. So I figure when you have two males that really, really can bust out a nasty 8 count and really just lay it out on stage, but they don't really do any of that in the video or on the stage, you're kind of disappointed. Like, one, I know people don't dance anymore, dancing kind of corny, but as a former choreographer and all that other crap, I do enjoy a nice choreography every now and then. So I was a little disappointed when they came out the music video and they didn't do anything but this for the video. So even when they performed, I thought they were going to do something. And then, what's her name? Janae Alco, or Alkaline, whatever her name was, she wasn't even there. I was like, Janae, what you got to do so that you couldn't be on stage to perform? Like, I'm not going to say it, but it's not that much demand. You could have came out there and did your line. All the hood rats in the audience were waiting for the booty like groceries line, and you weren't even there. Like, why weren't you on stage? Because see, ain't on stage. Ain't no such thing as ain't being on stage. You ain't on stage, you get ready to go on stage. I'm sorry, no, I was playing. You'd have to see what's up. Got to do it to get that. But, yeah, so she wasn't there. I wondered what happened with that. But anyway, that performance was cool for what it was. Now, none of them were singing. That's what I didn't understand. Or if they were singing, the backing tracks were so loud you couldn't hear their vocals. And I don't understand why all these people didn't have bands. I'm like, y'all people, A band will make your performance so much better. If you just, even if you just got a 3-piece band and a DJ, it adds so much more. When you just come out there with the CD playing, it just it downplays, it just kind of downgrades your performance. And somebody like Chris, who I'm a critic of, because I'm a fan. I like Chris a lot, or I did like Chris a lot. And if you follow my R&B is Dead series, I kind of talked about this in my last episode of that, where I was talking about how Chris has universal appeal. And because Chris was so successful in his early years, and he was able to get a lot of the little suburban white girls in Kansas and all that to like his music, he has an appeal and a following where he can kind of put out music and it will get to all genres, all audiences, all radio formats. But he chooses to market himself in this very reductive lane that he stays in. Like, he never wants to branch out or, take anything to the next level. I'm not really seeing the growth. So I'd be like, Chris, come on, man. So Chris, as a fan, I expect a little bit more at some point. You're just kind of stalling and just doing anything now. You can be trap house all day, but damn, you present yourself a little bit differently, I guess. And I'm not talking about how he carries himself. You do whatever you want. That people like the bad boy image. But as far as performances, you've been in the game like 10 years. And when I hear Chris Brown, I expect a band and 1,500 dancers and you to spit on your head and do all that. Not a freaking homecoming performance like that. Anyway. And Chris fans, don't even start. I don't fight with 16-year-olds, so don't even come in my comment section with no mess. The Weeknd performed. I like The Weeknd's music, but I think his performance is a result of when you record all of your songs at the top of your range. Because then when you have to perform them, it doesn't always come out too well. And his voice was really like nasally and squealy. I was like, ugh. Then Alicia Keys came out. Now, honestly, she was in good voice tonight. Because, Alicia's been sounding like she swallowed some rocks for a couple years now. But she sounded very decent on this one. And that song actually kind of complements her voice a bit. The Weeknd has had better performances. And then, hell, he wasn't even there to accept his award. It was like he performed and was like, I'm out. I got to go. And, of course, Twitter. Y'all stay going in on that man and his hair. Let him just do what he does. If he wants to look like PM Dawn, Set Adrift, Memory Bliss, if you remember that song, let him do that. That's what he wants to do. Hell, I think every man has his phase where we all grow our hair out and have different unique styles. It's kind of just what he wants to do. I don't know where he's going with it. But that's cool. You do you, Weeknd. All right? And I'll see you on Monday, I guess. Because I got to go to work tomorrow. What else happened? Oh, there was the Bad Boy bit. That was pretty dope. I enjoyed that. Even though Mace came out there all tired, like he didn't even want to be there. He was in like Uncle Mace mode. All right, y'all, let me go and do this. What you know about going out here in the West, red? Like, yo, you can have a little bit more energy. Like, the way Lil' Kim popped up out the floor, that's what I thought you was going to do past the Mace. I don't know. He must have not got a lot in tithing collection this Sunday, so he's like, yeah, I got to figure out my money. But no, that was cool. I enjoyed the Bad Boy tribute to hell. And they had Faith Evans and Lil' Kim on the same stage together, and nobody was killing each other. I was like, okay. Progress. And 112 was out there, and they gave you the reunion special of, what was that, Peaches and Cream? I was like, all right. Slim was a little winded. He was a little winded, but they did what they could do. Total wasn't there. I was waiting for Total to help me sing, but Total, yeah, they weren't there. That's okay. Kim, Keisha, Pam, I knew y'all were available. Y'all were down the street because I know y'all live in LA. Y'all could have been there. Wait a minute. How come they brought French Montana out? I know he's on Bad Boy, but it didn't fit with that part of the performance because everybody was like, we were in like 1997, 1998 having a good time. And here he comes out of nowhere and he just killed the vibe. I was like, oh, all right. But overall, not bad. Diddy, we saw you slip and fall, just so you know, by the way. We caught that. I ain't gonna talk about it. Smokey Robinson had a tribute. Now, I'll say this about the tribute. I enjoyed the Smokey Robinson tribute. However, I feel like Maxwell and D'Angelo should have been a part of that. I like Tori Kelly, Robin Thicke. I don't think they really needed him this time, but it was cool for what it was. There's a whole bunch of other R&B singers that have a better falsetto than Robin Thicke that could have did that tribute. You could even had Eric Benet do that. But that's cool. So at first, the Smokey Robinson tribute was a little pale, and I was getting concerned, like, are any of us going to actually honor our own people? Nothing against Tori Kelly, because she got a great voice, and if you've seen her PYT performance, Michael Jackson song, she kills that. But I was like, give me something. Fortunately, Neo came out. I was like, finally, something. All right, so Neo comes out. Overall, that tribute was pretty cool. I liked it. I just think they could have done a little bit more for Smokey, but maybe just one more performance in addition to, the ones that were already there to kind of just make it feel more complete. Meek Mills and Chris Brown and Nicki performed. Like, at this point, I was getting restless because I was waiting for Janet, and it had been 5 hours at this point, and Hell, the sun was rising and the show still had 15 more hours to go. And I'm like, what all they all got to do, man? See, that's what happens when there's not enough black representation on TV. We get one major award show, and you got to cram 18 hours of stuff in a 4-hour block and somehow make it stretch. Now, yes, we have the Stellar and the Trumpets and all the other awards, but for some reason, they just don't get the same notoriety because none of these entertainers ever show up to those award shows. They only go to the BET Awards. So the BET Awards got to be 9 years long. But, yeah, so Nick and Chris and Meek Mill's performed. I didn't even care to see that. At this point, I was getting tired. Like, I ain't got to go to work in the morning. I'm like, come on, Janet, let's go. They did the Empire performance. Listen, I like Empire the show. I enjoy it. But there's a thing called oversaturation. And sometimes as a PR or in marketing, you have to learn that sometimes less is more. And what's going to happen with Empire is people are going to be sick and tired of Empire. This was a performance that was not needed because Empire went off the air a couple weeks back, and we could have waited until the new season started for more performances. Now, I do like that Jussie Smollett decided that he wanted to make a political stance and say his 2 cents. That's cool, that's respectable. But too much Empire. And like, let that Empire chill for just a little. Damn, even the Roman Empire ain't last that damn long. Like, how many Empire? Y'all done been on every award show. We got it. We got it. We happy for you. But damn, we would like to anticipate the next season. Y'all are like milking this thing to death. You're going to end up just like Glee. Or Scandal. Because Scandal, y'all struggling too a little bit. I hope this next season's a lot better than this last one. Anthony Hamilton and I can't think of the other guy's name, but they did a great job with the B.B. King and Percy Sledge tribute, and I like that they did the Charleston 9 tribute. Anthony Hamilton can always sing everybody up under the table, and I feel like if you went to Anthony Anderson's house, like, I feel like he's like one of those old people that, remember the old people that used to have the bees hanging from the kitchen doorway? Like, I feel like his house would have that, kind of, and I feel like he boils grains with like no seasoning. It's just straight greens, because he's just that deep. He don't need no seasoning, no nothing, no neck bones, no back fat, nothing in the greens, just plain greens, no nothing. Yeah, I feel like he's on that level of deepness, but okay. I like that they had the Black Lives Matter portion. I'm glad that people aren't afraid to say that on TV, because for some reason when we defend ourselves or speak out, somehow that's us being racist, or somehow we have to include everybody in our struggle, even though they may not be struggling the same way we are. So I appreciate that they had a Black Lives Matter portion, even though a lot of people had a hard time tonight reading that teleprompter. Okay? This is what happens when we live in the country where you spend more money on defense than education. Thank you, George Bush. You done messed up everything. Some of them were struggling with that teleprompter, but that's okay. Big Sean performed. At this point, I was real restless. I was waiting for Janet, and I was starting to think she wasn't even there no more. Big Sean performed. Cool, I guess. At this point, I wasn't even there no more. I was just waiting for Janet. And so was Twitter. And so he performed. Then finally it's time for the moment. So they have Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis come out. I'm like, okay, finally. So they do that. You know, they have this really great video montage of just the impact that she's had as far as the concert attendance and her stage performances. It was interesting that they didn't show any clips from any of her music videos, or they didn't have anybody, you know, say their little interviews about what she's done and how impactful she was, which was interesting. But the montage was good. The performances, they were cool. I liked Tinashe and Jason and Ciara. I think overall Ciara dragged the mess out of the other two. And my little dancer was kicking in because I was looking at Ciara's arms when she was doing every routine, like, wait a minute, you tighten them arms up a bit, Ciara. But I like her energy. And I think it's cool that Janet's finally getting some props, because I feel like she's kind of like the evil, dark stepsister of all the big, major pop, R&B, crossover divas from the 80s and the 90s. She's kind of, I feel like sometimes she's like the least respected, and it kind of stems from what happened after the Super Bowl and how she kind of fell off for a while. So it was kind of good that she finally got a tribute. A lot of people were pissed that she didn't perform. And I kind of wanted to see her perform, but at the same time, if it's my tribute, I'm not performing either. Let me just come on out, and, you know, that's what she did. They played her song for a second, so I was like, wait a minute, I think she's performing. But then I realized it was just like the CD. I was like, nah, she's not going to come out and perform to a CD. She would have a whole band, so I don't think she's performing. So she walked out and, you know, came out and said her words. And, you know, I'd like to thank everyone who performed tonight. I know I didn't see the performance because I was sitting backstage. But she looked really nice, too. Now, Janet, I'm going to tell you this. Now, as a fan, I will say this. You look good, but I know you've been in the doctor's office, and I want you to stop where you are, because I don't want you looking closer like Lil' Kim. So stop where you are at. You were fine, okay? You looked fine before you did whatever you did, but don't do it again. Don't do it anymore. Stay out of the doctor's office, okay? Please. But she looked really nice. Like, it looked like it was 93 on stage. Like, I thought it was 1993. I was getting ready to turn to Different World, because Different World comes on Thursdays after Cosby. And then Tamar and K.Michelle had a performance. Y'all. Tamar had, I don't know what was going on right here. I was trying to figure it out, but it kind of creeped me out a bit. She just kind of had this thing going, like she had like Graves' disease, and just kept, I mean, she sounded decent, and she just kept performing like this and doing everything and looking, and I was like, yo. And K.Michelle's portion was good, but then I couldn't stop looking at K.Michelle's behind, and I'm like, see, this is what happens when you get them butt injections. Your thighs need to be proportionate to everything else, otherwise you look weird. So I really do like K.Michelle a lot, especially after I saw her cuss out the boss person at that panel discussion. But y'all stay out of these doctors' offices. Black people, we already look good. We ain't got to do all that crap to ourselves, all right? You don't got to come out looking like a cartoon character to sell records, because obviously ain't nobody selling records no more anyway. Just embrace what you got, okay? If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. It's okay. You got something else. There's a void that's missing, but you filled up another one. So just stay out of the doctor's office, people. But I did enjoy that performance. Patti LaBelle came out, which was kind of cool, because she wasn't on the billing, so you didn't know she was going to be there. And, you know, they did a great performance. Fetty Wap performed. By then I was so sleepy, man. I was so tired trying to get through this award show. And I think it's also because I've just gotten older, so I don't keep up with a lot of these newer acts. So I really just don't know them like that. So I don't have the same excitement that I once had when I was like in high school, or, you know, maybe even my early years of college. Overall, the show wasn't too bad. It was cool for what it was. There were moments that were a little like, what the hell are y'all doing? But overall, the show wasn't too bad. I feel like it's starting to get better again. Like, the standards are getting better, because there was a few years when BET Awards was just terrible. I'm like, what the hell is this crap, man? But overall, it wasn't bad. And that's pretty much it. That's my 2 cents. I didn't want to make this video too long, even though it probably already was. Share your 2 cents. What did you like? What didn't you like? What did you hate? I'm anxious to see what's going to happen with some of these people who have projects coming out. I'm anxious to see what Janet is going to be up to. Janet, do you mind, can you give us a performance or something? I know you dropped your song and was like, here's a song, y'all, take it or leave it. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Buy my concert tickets. But overall, yeah, not a bad show, BET. Y'all are stepping it up a bit. I see y'all are trying. So I'm out. Subscribe. Deuces.